Hey guys, I'm Jackie Brubaker, your host of That Girl the Podcast. I'm an author, performer, 2-time Emmy Award winner, human relationship specialist, and founder of the wellness website loveyouevenmore.com. Each week I bring on inspiring people and experts in their field to have powerful, motivational, and enlightened conversations about relationships, self-development, and how you can live your most authentic life. Welcome, Denise Petry, to That Girl the Podcast. Denise has been on the podcast before. She is the Queen of Wands. She's an incredible tarot reader of so many years, I won't even say, but many, many years. She's an incredible tarot reader. She reads for me and so many of my friends. She's huge on TikTok and Instagram. Guys, she's no joke. She's a friend. I love her so much. Welcome. And today she's going to be doing a collective reading for us. Let's do for like the first 3 months of the year. And then every 3 months we'll bring you back on. So it'll be like January through end of March or so. Mm-hmm. And I'm just so excited to have you back on to do a collective reading and to tell us some amazing stories of readings you've done and more about you. So welcome, Denise.
Thank you. I love being back. I love to tell the tales of tarot. Because first of all, I'm amazed that I remember them because I have been reading over 40 years. And, you know,
which is
I really
impossible because you don't even look it. It's insane, you guys. You really, seriously, I don't believe her. But go on.
I started when I was 3. No. So I started a trend on TikTok where, you know, I would do lives and people would ask me to tell a story. So I had to really sit down and think about it. And I decided to do Tales of a Tarot Card Reader. Of course, I've changed the names. And a lot of these readings are from years back. But there was this one reading I remember, and I do have it labeled in my head, and it's called If You Want Him, You Can Have Him. Okay? That's the name I named the reading. So I had this young girl come to me, and she was in her late 20s. And she was a friend of a friend. I don't think I've ever in my life, except a year and a half ago when I started TikTok, done a lick of advertising. So she had come to my home for a reading, and she was dating someone. And a lot of the problem was she was at that age where she wanted to get married. You know, all the friends are getting married. And, you know, I don't tell people what to do. The cards just showed, if you want them, you can have them, but it's not looking good. Okay. You know, and that's what I would say to her. I would say, if you want him, you can have him. I says, but it just doesn't look, the progression doesn't look good. So again, she was very, very adamant. She wanted to get married. So, you know, I give her the reading, I wish her well, and I send her on her way. About 2.5 years later, she gets in touch with me. She was pregnant. She was married. She married him. And she came to me and she says, well, we're having a hard time having a second baby. So again, I said to her, as I looked at the cards, I said, well, the marriage doesn't look good. And she goes, well, I want to have another child. Again, we have to be careful not to have culture pull us into something we don't, with the wrong one, something we're not ready for. So I said to her, yeah, you're gonna have another baby if you want, because, you know, the universe really gives us a lot of what we want. Mm-hmm. You know, good, bad, or otherwise. I mean, who are they to judge us? So she was fortunate. She got pregnant. She had a little girl at this time. And about 1.5 years later, she calls me up. She wants to come for a reading. And she sat right here, my kitchen table, and she cried because he unfortunately got into drugs, unfortunately was having an affair. And she was in the process of divorcing him. And it was very, very sad because he wanted to take custody of her kids. And she kept saying to me, which I said, look, at this point, we don't talk about this anymore. She goes, but you told me not to do it. I go, I tell a lot of people not to do things. They do things. You know, let's not talk about that. You're here now. Mm-hmm. Where do we go from here to help you grow? Mm-hmm. So she says, he's trying to take my children from me and my house. And I looked at the cards and I said to her, I go, it's just going to end. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, it's just going to be over. And she said, there's no way. She goes, there's no way he's going to give up. I go, no, my cards show it's just going to be over. And unfortunately, 2 weeks later, he overdosed. So it was over. See, I don't really see death like death, and I wouldn't call it, but I just could see that it was going to be over and it was going to be done. So he wasn't the person for her. But like I said, if she wanted him, she could have him. And she did. And she says this to me to this day. She'll call me every once in a while. She'll say to me, you kept saying to me, he's not for me, but if you want him, you can have him. I says, well, you were on a quest. She wanted to be married. She wanted to, have that, picket fence sort of thing. Yeah. And sometimes, we're just picking the wrong ones. That's what we're doing.
I like that you had said, I don't know if you said it for the podcast or before when we were talking, but people do have free will. You can see what you see and tell them that it is their choice. And I think that's something that a lot of people get confused by with tarot is like, oh, well, it's going to happen. It's fated to happen. It's like, well, no, I mean, we can make a different choice. We can go a certain way. And also it's like, you can look at what's coming down the pike and be like, cool, now I know what not to do, So I'm glad you told that story. Tarot can be something that, unfortunately some people can get really like addicted to. And I know that you're very good with your clients where you're like, okay, girl, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a little break because it is addictive. Yeah. But I mean, you and I have only had a few readings since we met, but every single time it is plenty for me to just be like, I'm good. Thank you very much. I will be good for a little while. And then I'll come back and it's funny too, because you popped into my brain. I had popped into your brain, like right around the same moment. And I was like, hey, do you want to come on the show? And you were like, yes, I was just thinking that.
It was the oddest thing. I was blow drying my hair. And, I'm always in this meditative state when I hear that humming. And I said, I got to get on Jackie's podcast. I don't know. Something says I got to get on there and talk to her. So I kind of always have that energy pull. And you're right. I do. I tell people all the time I won't read for them. I read for this girl the other day. I read for her 3 times in a year. Very, very bad, toxic relationship. And I said to her, I don't mean to be rude. I said, you don't need a tarot card reader. I said, I could take your money all day long. I said, I will not do it. I said, I want to see you in therapy. And when you come back to me, I said, I want to see you've learned something. If there's no sense in me, if you need, I'm not a therapist, but if you need consistent help with somebody, no, I'm not the person for you.
I feel that. I think that's so honorable. That's why you're you. That is why you're the
well, I tell people all the time, I'm not reading for you.
Because they know you're so good. Speaking of, let's get into the collective reading. Let's see what the cards have for the first 3 months of this year, January, February, March, and what they are going to tell us, what we need to know. As we speak right now, we have just gone into Mercury in retrograde, which I know scares a lot of people. The last Mercury in retrograde was horrendous for me. It was a terrible retrograde, but typically it's just bad communication and stuff like that. So
we're not getting the webcam to work.
Right. Yeah. Just technical stuff, bad communication, exes coming back. I would not be surprised if some exes decided to pop their little heads up and be like, hello.
They all do kind of return after a while. It's like that bad penny. You can't get rid of them. So I have my Robin Wood deck. It's a Wicca deck. I love this deck. It's probably like my 100th one that I've bought because it's just worn so much. I have so many decks, but I always gravitate towards this and Morgan Greer. I also have a mythic one that I like, but I always tell people it's so thin that you can't possibly use it every day. So what I'm going to do is I've shuffled them. I'm going to pick 2 cards for each month. Okay. So we're going to start with January. I'm going to just lay them up here. February. And then we're going to do March. I can't believe it's 2023.
I know, you guys. We are 2023.
Yes. Okay. Whew. Well, we're starting January. I don't know can you see that a little bit? Maybe.
Kind of.
So we're starting January off with a bang. First card out is Ace of Wands. Ace of Wands is just like you've lit that torch and you're going. Wands are all about our fire signs. What's your sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Okay, so you're water. So I'm Scorpio rising actually. But anyway, so wands are fire energy. Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries.
Aries, yeah.
I'm drawing a blank here. So we like the Ace of Wands because aces are all about beginnings. Don't think because it's an ace it doesn't have power, because this card has a lot of power. So 2023, if you're looking to start something new endeavor in work, new relationship, whatever you decide in January, because we're reading for the month of January to start, it's going to ignite. It's going to take off. It's the time to do it. Also, a lot of fire energy here. Six of Wands, total recognition. So are you doing something in the public eye? Because if you're doing something in the public eye, you're going to see that you're going to get recognition for it. Now, if you've been ignored by someone, I like this card too, because all of a sudden they decide to wake up and pay you a little bit more attention. So it tells us that it's not going to be easy the rest of the year. I can't say that, but January is going to be a really good catalyst for you to take off and to do you and to really get some recognition, and you're kind of bringing in the new year with your passion. As you can see, the horse is kind of bringing it in. The thing with the Six of Wands is it's not, you haven't won the war, you've won the battle. So there's still a little bit more to go. You know, I can't tell you everything's going to be happy from here on in. But the nice thing about it is it gives you the self-confidence, because sometimes we just need a little boost. We need a lot of self-confidence. You know, it's like, you do things well and people compliment you. Like my girlfriend said something to me tonight, my good friend. I go, that's like your mother telling you you're pretty. I mean, all our mothers tell us we're pretty. So this is something different. This is coming from outside. Okay. So this comes from outside sources that tell you, you know what, something good is really coming down the pike for you. We like January. We like January because think of January like a match with this Ace of Wands, okay? And think of it just, you hit it, and you know how sometimes when you go to light a match, it doesn't always light and you have to do it a couple times? This time, no. This time it's like one strike and that's it. You're off to the races.
Oh
I like that.
Yay.
February is my birthday month. I am a Pisces. You got a lot of offers. Somebody out there with this collective, you have 2 nights. Okay. We like the nights because the first night, I know you can't see them.
Oh, I can see them.
One of the nights is the Knight of Pentacles. Now, he's our slowest moving knight, but he also brings in money, wealth, stability. And we talked about that for January. So it kind of makes sense. Now the money maybe starts to flow in the month of February, the job security, the job change. Or if you're looking for romance, because who isn't, maybe the person you've been dealing with who hasn't been giving you the attention comes in and decides that they want to give you something substantial, something you could sink your teeth into, but they're moving really slow. And with the Knight of Cups, which is our love bombing night.
That's right. That is right.
Our love bombing night. Yeah. You may have a choice between 2 people. Choice is good. We like choice. Wow. So somebody out there may have a choice between 2 people, or again, if you want to take it into the career realm, a choice between a job that's my Knight of Pentacles is my 9-to-5er. You go 9 to 5, you know what you have to do, and you get a check at the end of the week. Okay. My Knight of Cups is more like you love what you do. It's going to be good some days. It's not going to be good other days. There's no consistency there. Okay. So you have this choice. Do you go with, A or B? It's up to you. But the nice thing is in February, you're presented with the choice. Mm-hmm. So it's not like you have to seek it out yourself. You are presented with this choice, which we like. Again, we like choice. And here's our other Knight of Swords, 10 of Swords. So March leads me to a lot of air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And the 10 of Swords looks really scary and stuff, but it's not. It's a good card. It tells us that the worst is over. So kind of what you've experienced in the last 10 months, I'm going to say, job, relationships, any kind of thing like that, really just kind of goes away. All that sorrow and that feeling maybe you were stabbed in the back, so on and so forth, kind of just dissipates and disappears. And then we get the Knight of Swords, and it happens quickly. Remember, this is our fastest moving knight. And he or she, or the situation comes in really, really quick to us, okay? It comes in quick and it brings a lot of different offerings. So when I lay all these cards out, I really feel like, and I've said this before, 2023 is going to be an amazing year for everybody. I think we've all paid our dues the last couple of years, but it's going to happen pretty quick. Like I would say the first quarter, it's going to happen. And everybody is going to really kind of change up their lives, like change things. Like I said, maybe 9 to 5 to, working from home, doing your own business, all different things are coming. And I think love too. I think if you went for a certain type of person, the Knight of Pentacles, maybe you want a Knight of Swords. You want someone, who's full of little piss and vinegar, and that's what he is, So I think it's good. I think it's choice. I like it. I think it's good for everyone. You too, you're going to end up with a lot of choice come, I would say, mid-February.
We will see. Gosh knows I'm doing a lot with my career this next year. So, oh my gosh, I want more. I just want more. Can we do one card for just the entire quarter, like the most important thing we need to know? Because that's so much information, but I just love you.
Aw, love you too. All right, so this one's my Morgan Greer deck. I like this deck too.
I love that. It's so pretty. Every time you use it, I'm like, oh, I like that one the best.
And I try to switch them up, but it's like I always gravitate towards Okay, so we can ask Spirit, what do we need to know for our greatest good? That's always a good one to ask.
Love it.
Lovers, choice, Gemini. There's going to be a choice. That's going to be the most important thing. Like I said from the beginning, choice. You're going to be hit with a lot of, I think all of us, especially you, are going to be hit with a lot of what do I do's? Things that maybe you thought were, like with the Ten of Swords, we thought certain things were dead. I tell people, because I've been reading for people forever, and people will say, no, we can never get back, or I could never do this or that. And I'm like, hey, as long as two people are breathing, anything's possible. I never say never, I never say never, because I've seen so many things and it's crazy. It's just crazy. But anyway,
all right, the lover.
Choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a lot, and also just the perfect amount of information so that we can remember it and see it happen as it unfolds. Mm-hmm. Denise, you're so great. We're going to catch you back in, we'll do the beginning of April. You'll be back in the beginning of April just to do the next 3 months.
Yes. And don't forget, we have a platform starting.
Oh, please do tell everyone. I was going to say, tell people how to find you, but talk about the Tarot Bridge.
We, myself and 2 other creators, have gotten together, and we have created what they call the Tarot Bridge. And it is a place where you can come, no pay by the minute, and you can get authentic, realistic readings. I vet all my readers because I'm a real stickler about that. But not only that, we have a community part to it. So it's like next door, you click next door, and it's almost like a Facebook, and you can interact with the readers, and if they want, they can teach classes, they can give lives. There's so much that they can do. And we have so much we can offer where it's just going to be totally different. I'm excited. And we're hoping to launch sometime to the public in February, hopefully.
Oh,
they have glitches with stuff. You can't just point and click, I've been told.
Hey, at least we'll be out of Mercury in retrograde, so it'll be good timing.
Yes, it started last night, I think, didn't it?
It did start last night. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
All right. Tell people how they can find you on Instagram and TikTok. Obviously, the Tarot Bridge, you can find her, but.
You can go to tarotbridge.com and sign up. You'll get notifications. You can find me mostly on TikTok, Queen of Wands. Yeah.
There it is.
And then you'll see my link tree, and it'll take you wherever you want it to go.
Yay. Well, I love your coffee and tarot time, which is on your YouTube and your Instagram. I think I watch every day actually, because you're in my algorithm. So I'm always liking and watching. I'm like, is today one for me? Nope, not. I think today was one for me actually, now that I'm remembering.
Yeah, I don't even remember which ones. I try to do them just daily so I don't overwhelm myself or the audience who's watching.
It's so much fun, guys. Go check her out on Instagram and TikTok and the Tarot Bridge. Go check that out. And thank you so much, Denise.
Well, thank you for having me. I love this. I enjoy reading for everybody and telling my stories.
I know. We'll have next time we'll have another story.
Sounds good to me.
Keep them coming. All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care, Jackie.
All right, bye. Thanks so much for listening to the podcast. Remember, sharing is caring. Make sure to rate the podcast and leave a review. We really rely on this to help get the podcast out there. Follow us for daily updates on myself and the podcast at That Girl the Podcast and at Jackie Brubaker on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and our Patreon page. While you're at it, make sure to check out my new wellness website, loveyouevenmore.com. If you're wanting to dig into developing more self-worth, be healthier about relationships, and learn how to date smarter, go to loveyouevenmore.com and follow us on Instagram at loveyouevenmore.